Let's get into this because the theories around GTA 6 Trailer 2 have gone from exciting to absolutely mind-blowing. We were already speculating about whether or not Rockstar might be delaying it due to political sensitivity, especially with Trump's second presidency in mind and what Dan Houser said years ago about how hard it would be to do satire in such a charged environment. But now, fans have pieced together a theory that's taking things to a whole new level. This time, it's not just about guessing when the trailer will drop. This theory connects details about Jason's character, the months of the year, specific timestamps, even license plate numbers, and a surprising amount of number 33 references. It's like Rockstar left us an elaborate treasure map, daring us to find the clues they supposedly left behind. So let's start with the basics. The date everyone's looking at right now is November 22nd, and that's because of a theory that connects that date to Rockstar's monthly posts, starting back in July. According to this theory, if you take the first letters of the months July, August, September, October, and November, it spells out Jason. Jason being one of the main characters in GTA 6. Now, you could write that off as a coincidence, but for GTA fans, there's no such thing as a coincidence. The idea here is that Rockstar might have intentionally chosen the name Jason so that they could plant this hidden Jason sequence in their marketing. It's subtle, but when you see it, it feels almost too perfect to be unintentional. This is Rockstar after all. They've done things like this before. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The theory goes on to say that November 22nd isn't just the date, but that the trailer could be exactly 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. The reasoning? Adding 11 for November and 22, the date, brings us to the number 33, which happens to show up in the first trailer. In that trailer, at exactly 33 seconds, we see a white car, a detail that fans have connected to Jason's white shirt in his official artwork. But it doesn't end there. The car has a license plate that reads Cheetah, placing the number 33 front and center again. It's like Rockstar is trying to lead us somewhere, using 33 as some kind of signpost. And honestly, it's pretty convincing. I mean, what are the odds that these numbers and details line up so perfectly? We've got November 22nd as the target date, the possibility of a 2-minute, 22-second trailer, the 33-second mark in the first trailer featuring a vehicle with the cheetah plate, and the name Jason being hinted at through the months. It's almost like Rockstar laid out a puzzle, and we're just starting to see the picture they've painted. So now we have this intriguing web of clues, but there's even more to unpack here, because the theory doesn't just stop at numbers and names. Fans have also started to analyze color schemes, moon phases, and even poses in Rockstar's artwork to connect it all back to this rumored Trailer 2 release. Let's talk about the color theory. Apparently, someone noticed that the first post Rockstar made in July, which, according to this theory, would represent the J for Jason, featured a vehicle with colors that line up with the upcoming game aesthetic. We're talking about those neon blues, purples, and pinks, the same shades that you can see in the artwork for Jason and Lucia. In theory, each month since July has included a specific post from Rockstar that somehow aligns with the look and feel of GTA 6 leading up to November. It's like they've been slowly revealing hints about the game's style and Jason's role, 1 month at a time, without ever directly mentioning the game. And then there's the moon phase connection. Now, this is where it gets really detailed. Some people noticed that on November 1st, Rockstar posted a GTA Online community update image, and in that image, there's a character posed almost identically to Jason's pose in the official GTA 6 artwork from last December. Both are leaning against a car with a flexed right elbow and their gaze directed off to the side. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The November 1st image is set at night, and if you look closely, the moon phase is a waning gibbous, the exact same phase the moon will be in on November 22nd, the date many believe Trailer 2 will drop. Some are saying Rockstar might have used this moon phase as a subtle hint, almost like a visual cue leading us to that date. It's the kind of detail that sounds ridiculous until you see the images side by side. But is it a stretch? Maybe, but Rockstar's known for this kind of stuff. They've always been a studio that hides details in plain sight, layering in references and Easter eggs that only the most dedicated fans would catch. And for people who've been analyzing every post, every color, and every little symbol, this theory about November 22nd and Jason seems to line up in ways that are hard to ignore. It's almost like Rockstar wants us to figure this out, to feel like we're part of this massive secret, building up to the reveal. At this point, the idea of Trailer 2 dropping on November 22nd 2 with a runtime of 2 minutes and 22 seconds almost feels like something Rockstar would do, just to keep us on our toes. And if it does happen, it would be a massive payoff for everyone who's been piecing this together. Going further, let's talk about something that might not be a trailer, but it's still big news for GTA 6. In the absence of official announcements, there's nothing quite like an investor meeting to give us a hint at what's to come. Companies like Take-Two, which owns Rockstar Games, use these quarterly earnings calls to present financial results and reassure those who keep their business funded, the shareholders. Recently, the Q2 2025 earnings call provided exactly that reassurance about the upcoming game, confirming it's still on track for a release in the fall of 2025, with no delays expected. Now, in case anyone is unsure about the timing, fall means between September and November. I've seen a lot of comments on past videos asking what exactly fall means. So that's our time frame for GTA 6. And nothing illustrates how promising this release sounds more than Take-Two's numbers for GTA 5 and RDR2. As of the latest update, the first has sold an unbelievable 205 million copies, while the latter is sitting at a solid 62 million. These are some of the best-selling games in history, and Take-Two's revenue projections for GTA 6 suggest they're aiming even higher. They expect the release to break records across the board, driving sales in a way that would put it right up there with, if not beyond, these two titles. Strauss Zelnick even hinted at the broader vision during the call. He said, "As we look ahead, we believe that Take-Two remains exceedingly well positioned for the long term. Our vision is clear, our talent is unparalleled, and we have one of the strongest portfolios of owned intellectual property in our industry. And this isn't just about GTA. Take-Two has a lineup packed with high-profile releases, including Borderlands 4 and a new entry in the Mafia series called The Old Country, both set to launch in fiscal 2026 alongside GTA 6. And here's another big topic people have been debating. GTA 6 is confirmed for both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, but what about the Xbox Series S? This is Microsoft's entry-level console for the current generation, and given what we saw in the first trailer, the big question is whether 6 can actually run smoothly on the Series S without sacrificing too much quality. During the same earnings call, Zelnick was directly asked about this, and his response was pretty confident. He said, "Look, we support the platforms where the consumers are for as long as they're there, and we find a way to support platforms despite different levels of tech. Our labels are really good at that. I'm not really worried." So according to him, supporting the Series S isn't a concern, and he seems certain that the game will perform well across all platforms, regardless of their technical differences. But let's be real here. While Zelnick might not be worried, I definitely am. We're talking about a console with significantly lower specs than the Series X and PS5, and releasing a game as ambitious as GTA 6 on the Series S could come with compromises. My worry is that to make it run on the Series S, Rockstar might have to lock the game at 30 FPS for all the consoles, or scale back the graphics, especially at launch. This wouldn't be the first time something like this happened either. Remember GTA 5 back in 2013? They released it for the PS3 and Xbox 360, and while it was great, it was clear those consoles were struggling to handle it. Then a year later, Rockstar released an improved version for PS4 and Xbox One, and in 2015 we finally got the ultimate version on PC. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar approach here, an initial release across consoles followed by a more polished, enhanced version later on. And let's be honest, we've seen what happens when a game is pushed onto hardware that can't fully support it. Just look at what happened with Cyberpunk on last-gen consoles. CD Projekt Red learned the hard way that releasing a graphically demanding game on underpowered hardware can backfire hard. Rockstar, however, has a reputation for quality, and I'd like to think they'll avoid making the same mistake. But still, there's a lingering doubt. With the Series S being a part of the plan, I hope it doesn't mean GTA 6 will end up looking worse or feeling less polished than it could be, just to make it fit on every platform. That being said, Zelnick's confidence could be a good sign. Take-Two and Rockstar aren't new to this. They've dealt with multiple platforms, from consoles to PC, and they're no strangers to optimizing their games for different hardware. Maybe Rockstar has a plan to make sure the Series S version doesn't drag the overall quality down, cause after all, they know how high the expectations are for GTA 6. They've spent years developing this game, and I'd like to believe they won't let technical limitations compromise the experience, especially on a game as highly anticipated as this.